Welcome back to Tarot and Beyond. Today we're doing a very special reading regarding a cosmic priestess message. So this is a message for anyone who identifies as a cosmic priestess. And basically what that is anyone who is a starseed or somebody who has this high priestess energy about them. So highly spiritual, very evolved old soul consciousness, and here to make a difference in the world. So if you've been drawn to this reading, then this is for you. So we have 3 different high priestesses here to choose from. We have the High Priestess from the Rider-Waite, the High Priestess from the Cosmic Coven, and the High Priestess from the Cat Tarot. So you can take a look at which one resonates with you, and we'll be using that specific deck for your readings, in addition to some oracle cards that I've pre-pulled. So select the card or multiple cards that resonate with you and use the timestamps down below to jump ahead to your chosen reading or readings, and we'll see you there. All right, hi group number 1. If you chose the High Priestess from the Rider-Waite, then this is going to be your reading. So let's take a look at your oracle cards and see what messages are coming up for you in regard to this High Priestess energy. All right, so from the Moonology deck, you have Expect Powerful Change, New Moon, Eclipse energy. You also have Your Dreams Need a Practical Plan, which is Full Moon in Taurus. Okay, you have Observer, and Yin energy. And Mary Magdalene, the Apostle to the Apostles, I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I am fully human and fully divine. Okay. So group number 1, what I'm seeing initially from your Cosmic Priestess reading is that, first of all, you are very, very much a Cosmic Priestess. You're very much a divine feminine energy. So Mary Magdalene here is really talking about being the bridge between heaven and earth, and that's exactly what the High Priestess does. Especially a Cosmic Priestess, you're like the bridge between the galaxy or the universe and earth. We have a lot of energy of the divine feminine. We've got Yin, Mary Magdalene. Even the Observer can be very divine feminine because it's a more detached, receiving or non-action type of energy. Now, I do see that it is important that you do have some level of action here, so balancing the feminine out with the masculine, because it's full moon in Taurus energy here with Your Dreams Need a Practical Plan. That's making me believe that there is something that's needing to be, there's something that needs to be kind of organized in a way that's going to be more efficient. And the Yin energy is really great at receiving. It's really great at tapping into the information and connecting to the intuition by observing the higher realms. But I do see here that to create powerful change, we have to initiate powerful change. And the best way to do that is to, yes, of course, first sit back and observe and feel and tune into the intuition and the psychic senses. And then it is to use that information to take action or to plan something that will allow you to take action moving forward. Now, I do see that the eclipse energy here is really, really powerful. Eclipses are big shakeups, and they do activate the north and south nodes of the moon. And so because they're showing me the moon here being observed, and we do have obviously these 2 moonology cards, it's speaking to me of this destiny or fate, especially as it's associated with your spiritual role or your role as this High Priestess. You are the bridge between heaven and earth. You are fully human and fully divine. You are both sides of these different dualities, as we see here with the 2 pillars behind the High Priestess. This is also making me think of the Justice card. So it's like this duality or this balance that comes from unity, really. That's the higher consciousness. And that's perhaps the observer role that they're talking about here as well. It's like the omniscient God source consciousness that observes everything. And so being able to tap into that helps you to have this understanding of the creation of life, because they're drawing my attention to the egg in her hand. So this egg feels like it is to do with the divine. It is a creation of the divine. And it's also, because it's red, it's making me think of pomegranate seeds, as we see here in behind of the High Priestess there. So it feels like this is very much about abundance, fertility, and creation. All right, sorry guys. So I got interrupted several times trying to film the beginning of your reading, so I had to wait a couple of hours until outside noise died down a bit. And so basically what I was seeing here is that there's multiple eggs, like even in the observer card, the fox is actually sitting on an egg. And so this is very much to do with cosmic oneness, is what I just heard in my head. So cosmic oneness is this state of consciousness that brings you into connection with all that is. And that is essentially what makes you a cosmic priestess. Now, what you're being asked to do right now is to tune into that very feminine, divine cosmic energy that you have access to as this bridge between worlds, to be able to make a very concrete plan as to how you're going to take action on that. Now, we are going to get clarity on how to do that with the Rider-Waite. So let's take a look at your tarot. So for group number 1, for Cosmic Priestess number 1, yes, these 3 and these 2, and we'll get more after, I think, too, but let's see what these are. Oops, I almost just turned them all over. I don't know why. You have the Page of Wands. You have the 9 of Pentacles. The 3 of Wands. The Magician. Wow. Okay. And the Wheel of Fortune. So yes, very much about this new beginning. The egg energy is showing up with the Magician here and the Page of Wands. I see this manifestation that you're attempting to create. I just get the feeling like you're becoming very aware of how you create your reality and how you can influence through your own free will and merging with the free will of the universe to be able to create and manifest the abundance or the freedom or the self-discipline that you need to be able to create your reality versus the reality that you're being shown or that you've experienced in the past. Because they're showing me these 2 trees in the 9 of Pentacles here, representing the old world and the new world, and you are venturing forth boldly, courageously, freely into the new world. But to do that, you have to create it as you go, is what they're saying. That's why the Magician is here. So you have to take that wand firmly in your hand and say to the world, to the universe, to the cosmos, you are the creator and you are the divine. And so you're trusting the cosmic wisdom that's coming through you to help you to take these steps, moving out of old cycles, old karma, old entrapment through your knowledge, through your wisdom, and through your guidance. I see you breaking riddles, because they're showing me the Sphinx here and the books that all these beings are holding. The great guardians is what I just heard. The great guardians are the keepers of wisdom, the keepers of knowledge. This is also speaking to me of the Akashic record. And as an Akashic reader myself, I totally understand how it can help and benefit us. I've seen it work time and time again to heal past life karma, to heal cosmic wounds, to heal all sorts of things within the soul blueprint. And if you're not familiar with the Akashic, I highly encourage you to check it out. I do have soul realignment links below to learn how to work with the Akashic record in that modality if you're interested. That's in the description box. But essentially what I'm seeing here is you being able to free yourself from karma. The descending snake is making me think of, like negative karma that keeps you kind of sucked into the matrix or sucked into the lower dimensional timelines or lower earth realities. And you are breaking through these mysteries or breaking through these riddles to be able to acquire the knowledge or the insight that's necessary to get you to the next stage or to the next phase of your reality. And this is what makes you such a formidable manifester, formidable power. You are the keeper of knowledge and wisdom within yourself. And so it's just really about kind of unlocking that and freeing yourself from limitations that have imposed themselves upon you and restricted you from being able to access your full capabilities here. So the yin energy is going to help you do that. Yin is about going within. And if you need an easy way to remember it, that's a fun rhyme I just unintentionally made up. Yin is about going within, and yang is about going without. I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with yang other than wang. So yin energy here, very much about going within. They're drawing my attention to the 2 in the High Priestess and the number 2 here. So yes, these are both very yin energies, very divine feminine. It is about being soft and gentle and parting the veil to feel into what is behind. I'm also seeing this bowl of water. It looks like a scrying mirror. So scrying is a form of divination where you can use either a black mirror, a black surface, or a bowl of water to, it's essentially like using a crystal ball to be able to see visions. So you can use any kind of a reflective or non-reflective surface to be able to see these visions. You can also do this by just closing your eyes. Like that's what I do to access my psychic abilities. I just close my eyes. I can see stuff with my eyes open too, but yeah, it's just easier to block out kind of interference or to block out distractions if you just close your eyes. So being able to see psychically into the hidden realms is what I just heard, the hidden realms. Yes, that's what's behind the veil. That's what we're seeing there with that pink chiffon curtain. And with the High Priestess, she's the guardian of the veil. So you're able to see beyond the veil to certain degrees, you know, and that might vary from time to time. It depends on the moon phases, what I just heard. And the time that I'm filming this is right before the full moon in Sagittarius. This is a timeless reading though, so whenever you happen to click on it, that's when you were meant to receive these messages. But they do have an eye on the moon here with the observer card. So you're meant to keep an eye on the moon as a cosmic priestess. You're very influenced by astrological transits, the energy of the moon and the planets and the cosmos in general. I also just, they showed me in my mind like the dipping down into different frequencies and then up again. It's like the waves of the ocean. And as a cosmic priestess connected to this very divine feminine yin energy, whether you're male or female, it's the embodiment of that yin energy as your primary force that enables you to connect to the ups and downs, the waves, the ins and outs, the flows of the moon, of the planets, and of the galactic cycles is what they're showing me, because that up and down motion, what they were showing it to me on like a galactic stage. So I was seeing the earth moving through these galactic bandwidths. And so as we move through different frequencies as a galaxy, you're able to tune into that. So this is very high level stuff that we're talking about here. And that's why I was prompted to sit down and do this reading. That's why the inspiration came to me, because Spirit was like, you know, we want to talk to these cosmic priestesses out there because there's many of them. I'm one of them myself. That's why I resonate to channeling, receiving, and transmitting this message. So you're meant to be abundant, Cosmic Priestess number 1. You are meant to be free. You're meant to be a creator of your reality. You are a divine being and a human, which means that you are here to live a human experience, but at the same time have the knowledge and the capacity to create your reality as you do as a divine being, because that's what divine beings are. We're creators. We create with thought. We create with our mind. We create with our hands. We do all sorts of different kinds of creation. And so you're meant to be here not just as an observer, although you are meant to observe. You're learning through the observation. You're learning through the tracking of this energy and these cycles, and also observing what you do and do not want. And then you're meant to create your reality based on that information. You're meant to learn, you're meant to explore, you're meant to adventure. And sometimes, again, that's why they keep bringing me back to that the practical plans need to be put in place here. Like maybe you're actually meant to be traveling. Maybe as these galactic waves of energy come in and you receive them and transmit them to the world, maybe you're meant to be going somewhere to be able to anchor those in different points on the actual physical earth. And so it will require some practical level planning, because you may have to get documentation, you may have to book flights, you may have to look for accommodations, things like that, that are very physical and practical and 3D and human. But again, you are a divine being and a human. So you're able to kind of combine those two things, the intention to be able to be a conduit for the divine, as well as the practical steps that are required to implement that at the physical level. But you are a very powerful manifester, like they said. What was that word they used? Formidable. Yes, you are a formidable manifester, so you can really create a lot of opportunity for yourself in a very powerful, powerful way, especially when you combine that energy with the universe, with the divine, with the transits of the moon, or with the astrological movements. It's like if you can sync those two up, you are co-creating with the universe, which is how it was always meant to be. And because you're so psychic and aware, you're able to tune into those vibrations, those energies fluctuations to better capitalize upon them. I don't know why the candle keeps burning and going out. I think the rose quartz melts and then it hits down on it. That happened a couple times before. So there's something about the rose quartz is like the heart and the heart chakra and needing to be healed because it keeps putting out the flame. So if you have heart chakra wounds, that may be preventing you from taking action or from keeping your flame alight. The flame is like the energy, the sacred energy that you have within you. And you do have these wands cards here speaking of that sacred fire. So if you're having a hard time keeping that alight, they're saying do some heart chakra healing, maybe use some rose quartz in that case to help to keep you lit and to keep your fire burning so that you can create, because you need that fire to be able to create, and you need that fire to be able to tune in and to take action when you need to. So I'm actually just going to leave the candle off for the rest of the reading. For whatever reason, that's what I'm being called to do. I do want to get 2 more cards from the Rider-Waite. So for group number 1, Priestess number 1, what additional messages are needing to come through? Yeah, okay. So you have Temperance and the 6 of Cups. Okay. So Temperance here and the 6 of Cups, they're both kind of talking about like this exchange of energy. I'm seeing the cups and the water flowing, or the cups being offered back and forth here, kind of as like, how are you using your energy? How is it being transferred within you? Are you capitalizing? Again, they keep using that word, capitalizing on the natural cycles. Are you using your skills and your awareness as this highly psychic divine feminine to be able to replenish yourself appropriately? Some of the heart chakra healing may be disturbing some of this natural flow of energy. The heart chakra is like the main hub of the chakra system, and if that's not aligned, or it's blocked in some way, or it's just being impeded in general, what can happen is that energy flow can't move all the way through the system properly. It needs to go from root to crown and crown to root, and if it can't get through the heart properly, it's going to kind of obstruct things. Think of it like the heart chakra being like a major point in a transit station is what they're showing me in my mind, like a transit station where all of the highways kind of merge into one and then they expand out. And it's kind of like if there's like a toll booth in that transit station that's kind of blocking off traffic because one person can't pay the toll and they're fishing around in their wallet for change and like stressing out. All the cars behind get backed up and everybody's honking and everybody gets upset, and then the traffic isn't flowing. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here, is that the heart chakra may need a little bit of healing here to help this energy to flow more naturally. And some of that may be through alchemy, because that's what I'm getting here from the Temperance card. You may want to work on doing some alchemization, if that's even a word, of some of the lower energy or any of the blockages or densities in the heart center. And the heart is to do with your relationship with self and others. So any pain in regard to your relationship with yourself, maybe from childhood, because the 6 of Cups does speak of childhood memories, nostalgia, things like that. So it may have come from that relationship with your parents, with your family, with your friends, with your siblings. I'm also getting from this as well, relationship with siblings, and could even be relationships with romantic partners, but I'm actually getting more platonic energy from the 6 of Cups right now. So look to those areas in your heart that may need some reconciliation, is the word I just heard. So reconciling things from the past so that they don't continue to linger and hang around in your heart and prevent you from tapping into these very sacred divine energies that are meant to be coming in and moving through you freely, but they can't do that if there is something that's kind of blocking it or putting out the flame. All right, so I just stopped to check the time and it was 1444 on the recording time. That's going to be different for you guys because I edit everything together. But 444, and especially when there's a 1 in front, the 1 represents the new beginnings and the 4s represent the stability, the angels as well. It's like divine ethereal protection is what I just heard. Okay, divine ethereal protection. So as a cosmic priestess, you are divinely protected. You're guarded, is what they're showing me. It's like you're very guarded. You have like bodyguards in spirit. So every soul has guides, and every soul has at least like one dominant sort of guardian angel. But cosmic priestesses, that you have like extra bodyguards. You've got security at the soul level. You know what I mean? Because you're an important person. You know, it's like the difference between somebody just walking around on the street and somebody who's in like a position of power, like the president. So cosmic priestesses, we're like, you know, the presidents of the energy realm. So we need to have extra support. We need to have extra backup because, you know, sure, somebody might want to target some random person on the street, but it's way more likely that they're going to want to target the president or somebody in a position of power or leadership or notoriety, right? So it is important that you know that you're protected, that you're kept safe, that you are being safeguarded, I just heard as well. And that's another reason why they want you to do purification of the heart and to know that you are love, because that's the name of this candle, you are love. And to be able to connect to that frequency, this is actually the candle frequency here is tuned to 528 hertz, which is the vibration of love. So maybe doing some frequency healing, sound healing with that could help to heal your heart chakra, maybe using the rose quartz, like I said. That's going to help to release any of the energy that's gotten in and is obstructing things, because you're protected from the outside. But if there's any resonance on the inside, that's what can kind of breach your walls, you know, and make you a little more vulnerable to attack. Not that you're going to be attacked. I don't see that here in your reading. I just mean like, you just want to make sure that you're really shoring up your boundaries and making sure that you're taking care of the inside so that everything outside is good. It's just good housekeeping, right? So, and especially as a high priestess, we need to be extra diligent with that. Housekeeping within our energy body is crucial, because if we don't keep up with that, again, we're like walking transmuters and sponges for energy, for not just for other people, but also for the galaxy, the cosmos, the earth, the different dimensional realms, like the etheric realm, the Fey realm, the astral realm. Like, we're connected to everything. So you have to be extra diligent and careful about your cleansing routines and rituals. They're saying this to me. They're like, Siobhan, this is a message for you too. You're channeling it, but you need to apply this. Because yeah, I get a little lazy with that. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, yeah, I'll use my energy cleansing spray, done. And they're like, no, you need to do more than that. Like, that's good, but you need to like step it up. Have a salt bath, go have a forest bath, go sit in nature for, you know, an hour, stuff like that. Doing like guided meditation with sound frequency, using the crystals. Like, I have all these tools and I just forget, you know, life gets busy, and that's part of being a human. And at the same time, being a divine being. It's like we kind of have to learn to balance those things. And that's what temperance is all about. It's trial and error. It's trying to find the right mix, trying to mix these two complete opposites together to find a harmonious balance. And so, yeah, it is a little bit of a journey, and we're on that journey together. So let's just kind of, you know, let's share our tips and secrets with each other so that we can better understand ourselves and each other and what we need, so that, we can alchemize this in a really powerful way, because that's what high priestesses are here to do, especially cosmic priestesses. We're here to be alchemists, whether that's for the earth or for other people or for the energy realms or for all of the above. It is really about being able to take a lower energy and turn it into a higher energy. I'm also getting a message of optimism here from the observer, the fox looking up at the moon, and the page of wands kind of looking up at some unforeseen thing. And it just feels like looking up, keeping your vision high, keeping the connection to your higher self open and clear. That's really going to help you to see the bigger picture, to keep your mind and your heart uplifted, because that is what creates the most ideal reality. As humans, we get taught very young that you know, the real world is the way it is, and we kind of have to just make peace with that and deal with it and, you know, struggle and stuff. And that's not true. We are creators. And so if we believe that we can create it, we can create it. And if we believe that we cannot, then we can't. So it's up to us to choose what we want to invest our energy in. And not to escape the reality that's there, but to be able to take that and then again, transmute or alchemize that into what we desire it to be. And sometimes that takes a lot of work, but I'm seeing that it's like if you're open to the journey and the process of that being an enjoyable one, or at least being something that you're learning through and gaining some knowledge about, it can help you to have some discipline around how you actually implement that and how you start to see those results come back to you. Because it's all going to come around, right? It's like the Wheel of Fortune here. I'm hearing what goes around comes around, and that's what karma is. And that's a very, well-known, very stereotypical phrase that a lot of humans here on earth use, and it's very true, but it's not necessarily always in the sense of like, if you do bad, bad comes back to you, and if you do good, good comes back to you. It's what is the frequency of the vibration that you're putting out. That's what comes back to you. So it's not really about what you do, it's more so about how you're doing it, why you're doing it, and what the energy is that's contributing. That's why the magician here needs to be so diligent is the word that they're giving me, very diligent about what he's creating and why he's creating it, and looking to the higher landscape is what they're showing me, the higher image or the higher perspective, the higher viewpoint is going to help you to see the bigger picture and see it from that cosmic level or from that soul level, so that you're not just operating from within those human confines. You're not just operating from within the matrix. You're actually able to break free from that and operate from the higher level, and therefore create at a very high level. So now let's grab the astro dice. For whatever reason, they're calling me to use this here. So for group number 1, oops, you have the Saturn in Sagittarius in the 6th house. Yeah, I was getting Sagittarius energy from the Page of Wands and the Observer. It's like optimism, higher mind, learning. The Saturn here is about the hard work, right? That's also what I was picking up from the Page of Wands. It's like you're excited to learn and explore and adventure and expand, and you're optimistic about it, but it is going to be some hard work. There are some lessons there. There are contracts and karma that need to be really understood. And as cosmic priestesses, we're able to learn and adapt very quickly when we see karma coming in, and we can understand it better and then be able to make those necessary changes. Now, I think this is actually the 9th house. Yes, it is, not the 6th. So you have the 9th house here, which is ruled by Sagittarius. Well, it's ruled by Jupiter. What? It's ruled by Jupiter. And Sagittarius and Jupiter. Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and Jupiter rules the 9th house. Okay, there we go. So the 9th house is higher learning, higher wisdom. It's like cosmic wisdom, wisdom gained through experience, wisdom gained through the understanding of cause and effect, especially since we have that Saturn energy here. So it's like learning through karma, learning through cause and effect, learning through this higher perspective, maybe even being able to see the lineage of your soul and the choices you've made, and how each one of those choices has resulted in something that was either aligned or misaligned, and then being able to rectify that, to alchemize that, to transmute that into that higher knowledge that allows you to expand and grow and hold more of your natural light, more of your natural wisdom, and therefore create more of the divine reality you're here to help to expand, co-create. I'm seeing Saturn driving you forward to this learning. It's very much, like Big Daddy Saturn is there to help you learn the lessons. Sometimes we have to learn them the hard way, or we have to learn them in a very consistent, dedicated, I just heard unscrupulous. I don't even know what unscrupulous means. Okay, let me look that up. Okay, so unscrupulous means having or showing no moral principles, not honest or fair. Oops, okay. So I think what they actually meant, like what I heard initially was scrupulous, and then I added the onto it because I think that's the only way that I've ever heard it before, was like unscrupulous rather than scrupulous. So I'm assuming that scrupulous means the opposite, which is like fair and moral and ethical. So especially since we were talking about Saturn here, this is very much about making sure that you're not doing it in an amoral way or immoral or out of integrity, essentially, from your soul blueprint or from this cosmic wisdom. So you definitely want to make sure that you're very aligned with this natural universal law of karma, which is just cause and effect, and doing all of your actions, all of your manifestation, if you're doing any spell work or anything like that, you want to do it with the highest integrity, which is the awareness that anything you do unto others will be done unto you. Anything that you put out will come back. And really, it's not even about like that outcome. It's more so, are you in alignment with divine love? Are you in unity consciousness, which is the knowing that everything is one? So anything that you do to someone else, you're doing to yourself. And that will continue to repeat until you heal it, until you transmute it, until you alchemize that wisdom or that knowledge, and then take action in a different way. Because that's how we clear karma, is by doing things differently. So I see Saturn pointing you in the direction of this knowledge or higher wisdom or learning. This could also be, I keep getting like learning about karma, learning about these higher universal, I'm hearing like universal universities. They're like universities of the universe. So one of these is sacred geometry is what they're saying. Another is numerology, quantum physics, astrology, Akashic reading, energy reading, manifestation. This should be like a universal university, and those are like the courses. Because that's essentially what we're here doing, and that's what we're here applying and learning and teaching as well, some of you. So learning and embracing this is going to help you to break free from cycles that were limiting, to balance things out, to heal, to embrace this knowledge, this wisdom with discipline and integrity, and to manifest and create the reality that is divinely aligned, not just for yourself, but for all of us, because as we rise together. So we need to co-create as one. We need to all be on the same team here when it comes to our intention, which is to embody our highest expression and to create unified love as this new reality that we're stepping into. So be the observer and look at these patterns very objectively so that you can detach from any egoic patterns that have been keeping you stuck, and then get curious and adventurous and regain that flame, that exuberance to be able to move through this and create the reality that you desire. Yeah. All right. I think that is everything, group number 1. Let me just double check. Yep, that's everything. So that is what I see for you, Cosmic Priestess number 1. Thank you so much for joining us today. And me and my guides and my team, my higher self. So yeah, if I use like us or we, it's always because I'm channeling multiple people, not just me. As I do these readings. So anyway, thank you so much for being here, Cosmic Priestess number 1. It's an honor to have connected with your energy and to read for you. If you are looking for any additional guidance, I am currently still accepting clients for a short period of time. I'm going to close that window within about 30 days. If it's past the 30 days, then most likely my services will be closed at that point, but there will be more broad things that I'll be putting out. So there will be still things to look for in my website, which is linked in the description box below. But if anything else, I definitely recommend checking out the soul realignment modality if that calls to you, if it resonates and it's kind of giving you that little nudge or that big yes, then go for it, because it changed my life, that's for sure. All right, guys, I love you, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, hi group number 2. If you chose the second High Priestess card from the Cosmic Coven deck, then this is going to be your reading. So let's take a look at your oracle cards, and then we'll pull clarifiers from the Cosmic Coven. So you have step out of your comfort zone with the North Node. Prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus. Group number 1 had new moon they had full moon in Taurus. They had Taurus energy, and it was in this same spot, which I'm just finding very interesting. All right, you have flexible. You have a change in the wind. And Perpetua, the saint of authenticity. I am my authentic self in all circumstances. Okay, so I stopped to reposition the cards and I looked down through the camera and I happened to look at 111 on the recording time. Obviously, that's going to be different for you guys because it's all edited together, but that's very significant. So repeating one sequences may be something that you're seeing as you're going through this activation. That candle keeps going out, so I'm just going to leave it. It's just frustrating me. So group number 2, I'm seeing that there's some change coming for you, and there's some steps that you're taking, because they just drew my eyes to the word step. So you're being drawn to step out of your comfort zone and into this new era is what I just saw with the new moon in Taurus. So a new era for yourself, one that feels much more authentic to you, that honors who you are at this divine cosmic level, and allows you to move through life in a much more fated and destined way, because that's what the North Node is all about. It is stepping out of your comfort zone and embracing change, but it's for a purpose. It's because it's part of your destiny. It's because it's part of you becoming who you're meant to be in this lifetime. At soul level, that's how you set it up in your natal chart. And if you're familiar with astrology, we are going to get the astro dice as well. So I'm seeing you holding something in your hands, because they're showing me here Perpetua. She's holding what looks like a manuscript of some kind. So you may have like a sacred manuscript that you're going to develop in this lifetime, or that you are channeling through you. This could be information that you channel for yourself or for the collective, but I'm seeing it could be a physical manuscript, or it could be metaphor. It could be symbolic of this more internal sacred knowledge that you're holding within you. I love this High Priestess card. I think it's just absolutely beautiful. Let's take a closer look at it. So it's radiant and divine, and that rainbow energy is coming in through her crown chakra, which is wreathed in flowers, and she's holding this orb in her hands in a very balanced way, and she's sitting on the moon. So this is very much about your connection to the cosmos, to the divine, to the universe, and to your own authentic power. I see this as you channeling your higher self through you and being able to manipulate and move energy, being able to connect to the natural cycles of time and the astrological impacts that the transits of the moon and the planets and the galaxy, this all came up in group number 1 as well. So you guys have a lot of similarities here to them. But what I'm also seeing for you, group number 2, is that specifically right now you're going through a time of change, and you're being called to, as this card says, step out of your comfort zone, be flexible, because there is a change in the wind here that is calling you into your authenticity. So if you've been playing like the human game, let's say, and you've been a good little avatar, and you've been abiding by the rules of society and doing what is expected of you, I see you kind of having to face your fears and stepping out of your comfort zone and becoming the version of you that's more authentic to you at soul level. So it doesn't mean that you cast aside that human version of you or kill the ego entirely. It's more so, how can you incorporate your soul aspect into your human life and into your ego expression? And that may feel a little uncomfortable, because it's kind of forcing you to be more authentic, or to be a little bit strange, or to be a little bit out there, and people might not understand that in all walks of life. Like you can't necessarily talk about that with people at the grocery store or at the country club or wherever you happen to be, right? So those are just some random examples that came to mind. I don't think I've ever been to a country club in my life, but I drove past a golf course today, so that must have been what triggered it. So it just feels like you are being called to step into your authenticity. And that does feel a little scary, but it's part of your destiny, because it's allowing you to channel in more of who you naturally are at soul level, which is the cosmic priestess. You're here to play the game of being human. You do have this avatar that you've, the word conscripted just came to mind. Let me just look up what conscripted means. So conscripted means to enlist someone compulsorily, typically into the armed forces. Armed sources. That's so weird. It says armed services, and I said armed sources. So I feel like this is very much an indication of your capacity as a high priestess and as a cosmic priestess to be this like armed expression of source, like the diamond rainbow body is what I'm seeing. And I have a mask, which I'm actually going to get up and grab and show you because it's relevant to the reading. Okay, so this is just a beautiful mask that I attempted to wear last Halloween, but it just hurt my nose too much. So now I keep it as just a visual thing that I enjoy. It's like a sensory stim for me. But for you guys, this is very much like the imagery that I was seeing. It's like this reflective, aurified diamond crystal surface that radiates light in all of these different frequencies and bandwidths. So I feel like this is kind of like this is the temporary mask that you've had to wear in this life, but you're actually so much more than that. You are more than just that little bit of divinity, is what they're saying. And it's like they want you to take off the mask and open your eyes to your true self so you can fully see who you are, because you have a very small perspective of your divine self. And they're trying to kind of bring you awareness of that by also understanding that the avatar, the human self, the ego, is part of this, but has been kind of like a compulsory, not byproduct, but a compulsory aspect of this divine expression. Yeah, I don't really know how to explain that. I'm trying to put into words what they're giving me here, and it's basically like, yeah, the ego and the body. Okay, this actually came through earlier today, so I think this was meant for you, group 2. I had this realization that the body and the mind, as it's expressed through the body, are kind of existing in and of themselves in the physical 3D world. And then the soul can come through that body. So, for example, what I was kind of seeing was that if my soul had not chosen to become Siobhan, Siobhan would still exist. Like the body that I'm currently in would still exist. And it would be a different soul who was inhabiting this body and living this life in most likely a very different way. And so my choice at soul level to come into this lifetime and be Siobhan changed the trajectory of events based on that decision. It changed Siobhan's life, like the body itself. And it changed my soul because being in this body as this person is very, very unique, and I chose it for a reason. So there's an aspect of your human self that is maybe needing you to meet it more directly with love, so that you're not like rejecting it, but that you're not afraid to meet it. It's like take off the masks so you can both look each other in the eye, your human self and your divine self, and get to know each other more directly. Okay. I don't know if I did that explanation justice, but hopefully I did. So anyway, back to your cards. I'm seeing here that you're meant to be in your authenticity because it's going to bring prosperity for you. And it's part of your destiny to experience that, but it does require you to embrace some of this discomfort or some of this necessary change that's going to come about as you shift into your more authentic self. And again, you're not losing the avatar self, you're not losing the human self, you're just integrating that in a more holistic way. So let's take a look at your tarot cards. All right, so for group number 2, I do feel this one. What messages do they need to know in regard to their High Priestess energy and this possible change that's coming ahead? I did feel that one as well, and then that's it. Okay. So you have the 5, 6, 7. Roman numerals are like not a strength of mine. 7 of Wands, and I know the imagery, but yeah, sometimes with a new deck, it just takes a minute. 7 of Wands, you have the Four of Wands, the Empress, again with the flower crown, and this divine feminine energy and this divine rainbow energy coming in. Even the pomegranates here in this card are reminiscent of the original background of the High Priestess in the Rider-Waite. So these two feel very, very connected. And they're drawing my attention to the 2 and 3. And you did have 111, and that looks like a 111 to me. Like in Roman numerals, the number 3 looks like 111. So 1s, 2s, and 3s are significant for you at this time. Okay. You have the Tower. Yeah, I mean, flexibility and a change in the wind and, stepping outside your comfort zone. That's definitely some Tower energy that we're seeing there. Okay. You have the Knight of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So prosperity most definitely lies ahead. The Wheel of Fortune is making me think of quite literally fortune. And we're thinking of destiny. That's what I think of as well with fortune and destiny. It's like this is meant for you. There's something that you're meant to be and to do and to experience and to have, I'm also hearing as well. So there are going to be physical aspects of this. And the Empress here is really talking about this ability to create from nothing. It's quite literally just manifestation, and your ability to be that is really being emphasized here, especially as it relates to your emotional needs. For whatever reason, that's what's coming through. Your emotional needs, your ability to set boundaries, your ability to connect to other people in a very balanced, grounded way. That is going to be a major part of your purpose here. It's also connected to your fortune. So if you're looking for prosperity, if you're looking for abundance and stability, it's going to be found through your connections to other people and how that relates to your relationship with yourself. And they did really emphasize that here, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your body, your relationship with your ego, and your relationship between your soul and all those other aspects and fractals of you are really important here. So taking off any masks and getting back into authenticity is going to help you to expand yourself, level up, activate. Like the Tower card here is just so aggressive, but in the most liberating and enlightened way. It's just this big, massive heart expansion, and it feels very powerful. It feels like, yes, it's out of your comfort zone and things are having to be destroyed or falling away, but that's only because you're stepping into your more authentic self and you're building yourself up, because they're showing me the bricks that kind of build up his body, and it's like you're building yourself up, you're receiving divine wisdom. Again, divine aspects of yourself are coming in through that crown chakra. So being able to tap into that is going to help you to consciously go through this process feeling more secure and being able to stand your ground. The 7 of Wands it's about defense and standing up for yourself, taking the high ground and protecting it. So I see you stepping into this very, very high-minded perspective when it comes to your emotional needs and your relationships with other people. That's what's going to help you to build back yourself, because it feels like some of it got broken down. You may have identified too deeply with the ego and become wounded because of that, or your experiences in the world may have wounded your ego or even your human body. And then as a result, you may have felt lack. But I'm seeing you here stepping consciously into this destiny of your abundance, your prosperity, your stability, your growth, and your luck. And it's not luck, group number 2. It's not at all luck. It's your frequency. Luck is a product of your frequency. It is a direct manifestation of your ability to go with and be in the flow of your own natural power and how that connects to the universe. So embrace the changes. There's definitely a turning of the wheel happening here, a change in the wind, flexible, Wheel of Fortune, North Node. It's like this is very destined. So if you're being called in a new direction right now, listen to it, follow, allow your intuition to guide you, stand your ground if other people challenge you on it, because other people might challenge you. They might not understand why you're doing what you're doing. If you're walking away from something that seems stable, or if you're changing your dynamic with them, if you're starting to set boundaries and you didn't before, just know that you're doing the right thing, and any resistance that you're met with is actually also meant to catalyze change for you. It's meant to emphasize how much you are growing and how those old circumstances, situations, or people are not resonant anymore. So yes, some tower moments may occur, but it's all for the greater good. It's all for this higher purpose, which is to get you into alignment with your destiny and to have you be the divine creator of your reality in a very, very powerful and wise way. Because the crown chakra here with the flowers makes me think, first of all, of abundance, because flowers to me represent like this very abundant, beautiful, natural phenomenon that we're blessed to experience, really. And also wisdom. So it's like the wisdom of nature. So allow the natural flows to guide you, to carry you through, and your higher self is guiding you every step of that way, through every phase, through every energy shift and change, and through this growth, which it is divinely guided growth. I'm getting a lot of mirroring energy in your reading, and these two wands cards are completely separate cards. Like, they don't look at all like each other. But what I'm seeing here is this one star and this one star and this one star. And it's like, for whatever reason, there's this one star in each one of these cards. And it's kind of like this mirroring energy. Even though they're in different places, it's the same star. So this is speaking to me of seeing yourself in others and seeing others as you, experiencing different expressions, different avatars, different players in the game, but they're all you. And being able to identify that is what's going to help you to step into this avatar, or past this avatar consciousness. And I keep using the word avatar, and I've not ever really used that in readings before. So if you're not familiar with that term, basically what it means is like the avatar is the body, and avatar consciousness is when you understand that you are the soul and not the body, and not the vehicle, and not the 3D expression of you or the ego. It's you've gone past that, and you can understand and connect to your past lives. You can understand and connect to your multidimensional self. So when I talk about this avatar energy, great examples of it are quite literally the movie Avatar, where you can see consciousness being expressed through a different body form. Another great example is the show Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's actually a highly spiritual show, and it's probably one of my favorites because I do love anime. And that is a great example because it directly goes into the past lives and the mastering of the 4 elements and the embodiment of that continued consciousness and the wisdom from each previous lifetime and each aspect of self, and how that all kind of comes together into the present moment and that destined purpose that the avatar has. So you, Cosmic Priestess number 2, are very, very divinely guided, as all Cosmic Priestesses are, but you have a very specific divine purpose that you're here to complete. You signed a contract for this, is what I'm also seeing with the Perpetua holding this, what looks like a manuscript. It's kind of like you've written the story out for this lifetime, and you signed that and said, yes, this is what I'm going to do. And that's why your soul, if you're physically not aligned with that, your soul is going to push you hard to get into alignment with that storyline. Because they're showing me in my mind like a movie, and you're the main character, and the main character at this point in the plot is supposed to be at this particular place to meet this particular person, to have this outcome. And if you're not physically there, the plot cannot progress. And since you're the main character, it's kind of like, well, what do you do now? So that's why your soul is pushing you hard. And if you're resisting, it's going to bring about tower moments. That's why it's important to be flexible and to embrace and feel into intuitively this change in the wind. The Knight of Cups is like the emotional body. So being able to feel into the changes in the wind and to respond appropriately. like an animal having instinct that a storm is coming and being able to avoid danger, or how animals can tell if there's geomagnetic shifts and they'll avoid, earthquake zones and things like that, because they can feel into and sense into with their instincts what's going on in the field around them. As a cosmic high priestess, you can do that times a million. So you just have to tune into it and actually listen and trust that, so that you're not resisting something that's meant to happen and creating more drama for your human self to go through because it's resisting and holding on to the comfort zone, the smaller version of you. It's like you need to kind of pull that mask off. And if you're not going to do it willingly, then your higher self or your soul is going to pull it off and yank it off for you, because it needs to happen. Because this is part of your destiny. It's what you wrote into the manuscript of this lifetime. And for a lot of you, this is in your birth chart, because they keep bringing up the natal chart in my mind. So if you're not familiar with your natal chart, your astrological birth chart, go check that out. Go get a reading from someone. I'm not an astrology reader. I'm familiar with some aspects of it, but I don't know how to read charts or put all that together. But they're saying you need to go get a reading about that if you haven't already, or you need to look at that closely, especially your North Node and where that is in your chart and what house that's in, what sign is that in, because that's really important to your destiny here. Okay. So let me ask what the next steps are for you to get into alignment with this destiny, because they're talking a lot about this change. They're talking a lot about, what will happen if you don't do that. But let's take a look and see what the guidance is around what you should do. So you've got the Cosmic Coven card. This is like the cover image for the deck. Okay. You have the Hanged Man. And the Nine of Cups. This is beautiful. Again, we have a lovely flower crown. Okay. This is, it's very much about your happiness. It's your prosperity, and it's interconnected to other people. It's like you're not meant to do this alone. You're meant to do this with other people. You have a cosmic coven of other cosmic priestesses. Get to know them in the comments, because they were all drawn to this reading. I'm one of them, so hello, hi, welcome. Hello, Cosmic Coven member. It does feel like you're meant to experience the self-fulfillment and joy that relationship will bring, and having healthy boundaries is how that's going to manifest. But you may have brick walls instead of boundaries right now, because they're drawing me back to the bricks that we did see in the Tower card, and the Seven of Wands in the distorted expression or the lower aspect can be about, building walls up and not allowing yourself to connect to people. It's like keeping yourself away, or I just heard the word sequestered. I think that means like kind of gathered away. The Hanged Man here makes me think that you've kind of been stuck in limbo. You haven't necessarily been off path, but you haven't necessarily been on path, because he's hanging upside down above this rainbow road. And I feel like that rainbow road is an indicator or a symbol for the path. And he's just kind of like, he's right over top of it, but he's not doing anything. So they're saying here that it is important that you embrace your path, you embrace your journey, you step out of your comfort zone, you free yourself and get down off of this temporary restriction, so that you can move through the portal, is what they're showing me, because the Four of Wands looks like a doorway or a gateway. So it's a portal that's open for you, and it's going to remain open for you, but it's kind of like you need to be there by a certain time, is what they're showing me energetically. It's like there is kind of a time limit on it. And so they're like, you need to get there, because this is all in divine timing. And that's why your soul is pushing you hard right now. And you're meant to be embracing these relationships and this abundance and your own inner wealth through your satisfaction, because prosperity could be physical, but it's mostly coming from the emotional realm here of how you feel, because how you feel and what you believe and what you set intention wise is then what you're going to experience and create in the manifested 3D reality. So I feel like it's the ego that's having a hard time with this. The ego doesn't want to shed that last layer of skin to be able to expose, the true essence underneath. It feels vulnerable to do that, is what I'm getting the sense of. It's like it's scared to let that last layer go. But you've already done many layers of this, is what I'm feeling. Group number 2. It's like you've already done this. You're not at stage 1, but you're not at stage 3. You're stage 2, and that's why you're group 2. Apparently, that's what they just told me. So the 1 and the 2 and the 3, that's why it's significant. And the 111 is an indication of that as well, because it's a representation of each one of those stages and all of them at once. So you're in the middle phase, which is probably the most uncomfortable one, because you're not where you used to be, but you're not where you're going. So you're in like this, limbo. And when I'm working with 7D manifesting clients, I call this dissonance phase. The dissonance phase is where you're no longer resonating to what once was, but you're not fully anchored vibrationally to the new frequency, the higher timeline. And so it gets very uncomfortable, because it's kind of like you have one foot in one pot and one foot in the other, and you're kind of like being made to do the splits. Yeah, flexibility. They're like, yeah, that's why we gave you the flexible card. I love when readings come together like that, because the images in my mind that they're showing me are like exactly what the cards are talking about. And I sometimes forget what's on the table, because I kind of zone out and I'll like stare out the window as I'm channeling, because I can see into my mind better that way. So anyway, it just feels like you're in stage 2. It's a little uncomfortable. You're trying to find the balance there. Part of this is going to be how you relate to other people. Part of it is how you relate to yourself and your own ego. Part of it is how you create abundance through your feelings, through your emotions, and how you manifest. So yeah, I see being your authentic self is a big part of this as well. That's another reason it feels uncomfortable, because that's like the new fresh self underneath, and it just feels a little vulnerable. But you need to remind your ego and your human self that your soul is extremely powerful. Your soul knows what it's doing. Your soul is not a beginner. Okay? Your soul is advanced. And so it has the power to be able to do what it needs to do. So if you need to bring your soul in to comfort your human self, i.e. the ego, to make it feel a little bit more placated, a little bit more pacified, to be able to move into this destiny, because I think that's why we had the word like that compulsory service or conscription come up, is because the human self is feeling a little bit like, I didn't sign up for this. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're being made to go to war, but you didn't sign up for it, it doesn't feel like it's free will. And that's why I think you're not being made to go to war, by the way, group 2. This is not war. It's prosperity. It's abundance. But it might feel like war because it's chaotic to the ego to step out of what its familiar being, that small version of the self. Sometimes what we fear most is our own power. So that's why your higher self needs to come in. Your soul self is ready and willing to communicate. What's the word that they're trying to give me here? It starts with a C, but it's not communicate. Communicate's part of it. Compromise. Thank you, Spirit. Compromise with the ego, because the ego is kind of going like, no, I don't want to do this. I didn't sign up for this. This is too much. And the higher self is going, yes, yeah, you did. And it's going to be great. The outcome's going to be fantastic. You're going to love it, but it's uncomfortable. And the soul is going, yeah, I wrote this. I remember writing this. It's all going to be good. Don't worry. We got this. So it's kind of like getting all of the versions of you onto one page, basically. And then we did have that, the page underneath there, the page of the manuscript. So get everybody on the same page here so that you can all agree on what to do, and that you can get yourself into alignment with the timing and the destiny that's trying to unfold here. That is inevitably going to unfold. It's just kind of like, you need to give your ego a little bit of a pep talk, group 2. That's what I'm seeing. It's like they're a little bit wary and weary and wary. And so they need you to come in and give them a little bit of a pep talk, because it's like halftime and they feel like they've been losing and you're about to go on to win the Super Bowl. So you've really got to give them the pep talk of a lifetime here, because they need it, because they can do it. They really need you to inspire them, is what I'm feeling here. So now let's get some astro dice. So for group number 2, Ooh, you have Mars in Sagittarius. Group number 1 had Sagittarius here as well. So Mars in Sagittarius in the first house. Yeah, the first house is all about yourself, your body, your personality, your ego, your physical appearance. I knew that. I knew it. I knew that we were talking about the body for a reason in this reading. Sagittarius is expansion, adventure, travel, growth, higher learning, higher knowledge, experience, optimism, and Mars is about action and direction. It's also very fiery, passionate. It's like a warrior energy. Can be a little aggressive if left unchecked, which is kind of what I'm seeing there with the Seven of Wands. Like it can be either, you know, properly defensive and offensive, or it can go a little overboard and kind of push people away. So yeah, it's important that you see the higher perspective here, the bigger picture. Sagittarius also helps us to do that. See the bigger picture, look at yourself through the eyes of soul, and see that warrior spirit within to help to rekindle that inspiration, that fire, that passion, to be able to handle these changes as they come along. To get out of this stuckness, you're going to need Mars at your back here. So again, look at your natal chart, pull that up. Cafe Astrology has free natal charts, and they're not super intensive or like really not like super detailed, but they're helpful. So if nothing else, I would recommend that because it's free. And I just get the sense that Mars is also helping to direct you somewhere. It's directing you, because they did give us the example of like this door, this portal, this gateway being open, and you're meant to get there. And even in the example with like the plot line, it's like you need to be there to meet a certain person. So it does feel like there may be travel involved. I don't think it's long distance travel for you. I think it's more like you just need to physically go somewhere on a particular day at a particular time, because your higher self is going to nudge you to do that. And there's a reason for it. You're meant to meet this person. You're meant to form these connections, and you're meant to there's growth and expansion that's going to come from that. And it's going to be like something that really expands your mind. Like the first house is all about your sense of self too. Like it's your body and your physical appearance, but it's also kind of like how you see yourself is what I'm getting from this. So yeah, it feels like your sense of self is going to evolve and change because you're taking off the mask, you're becoming more authentic. But this other person is going to help you do that, or people. I'm not sure if it's one person. I get the sense that it's one person. You know what? Now that I'm asking, like, I'm not sure if it's one person or many. It's one person. And I don't know if it's female or male because you have both here. I think it's going to vary from person to person. For some of you, it's going to be a man. For some of you, it's going to be a woman. But it just, yeah, I get the sense that it's going to change the way you look at yourself in a very positive way. It's going to help you step into your authenticity. It's going to bring a lot of happiness, prosperity, and abundance for you. And it's going to initiate this change in a very powerful way, or it's going to help this change along if it's already kind of underway. All right, so that is what I see for you, group number 2. This is a really powerful time in your evolution, in your spiritual embodiment, in your divine expression. So I'm wishing you the best of luck here. Again, luck, not that you need it. It's really just about alignment and embodiment and your human free will and your higher self will coming together as one so that your soul can express the way it chose to. All right, guys, sending you so much love on your divine mission here, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, group number 3. If you chose the High Priestess from the Cat Tarot, then this is going to be your reading. So let's take a look at your oracle cards, and then we will pull from the Cat Tarot as well as some astro dice. So you have Take Time to Breathe Out with the Disseminating Moon. The End of a Tough Cycle Approaches, Full Moon in Capricorn. Mao Shan, the Princess of Mercy, Giving is Receiving, the energy of the universe is merciful. Serendipity. And Building Blocks. Okay, so Right away, I'm seeing that you are releasing something that has been very heavy for you. This end of a tough cycle is allowing you to finally take an exhale, like breathe out. If you've been tense and holding your breath and worrying and stressing about something, your high priestess in particular is giving me this energy of the elixir, like this card having the that little potion bottle in the bottom there is making me think of an elixir, something that you've created, something that's going to be a tonic for health, something that's going to connect you to your intuition, because they're showing me the candles as like a representation of the flame of consciousness. So I see you really coming into a realization about something, and that realization is what allows you to finally let go of this tough cycle or end it once and for all. And through that, you're able to just release and let go and finally feel as though you're being held by the universe, by the cosmos, by your higher self in a very merciful way. Mao Shan here is really talking about this mercy. Giving is receiving. So as you're giving up this control, you're actually receiving a lot of grace in response or in return. The energy of the universe is inherently merciful. It does not wish for you to suffer. It does wish for you to be free, to be liberated, to feel full and provided for. And that's where serendipity is coming in. It's like serendipity, fate, the universe is going to be bringing you the building blocks to be able to create that which is going to give you that sense of security or give you that sense of connection that you've been desiring all this time. And I see you having created this yourself, right? It's not necessarily even the universe, although the universe will respond appropriately. But I see you doing this for you. It's like you've created this, you've made the changes, you've been able to let go because you have this profound connection to your soul, to your higher self, to your guides. You are a high priestess. You are a cosmic priestess. That's why that you were drawn to this reading. So you're able to connect with the higher realms. You're able to connect with the unseen in ways that gives you information, which allows you to unlock this luck. Because they're drawing my attention to the clover here. You have profound luck on your side. And as in reading number 2 for Cosmic Priestess number 2, we were seeing that luck is not just luck, it is alignment. And so for you, it's the same thing here. Group number 3, you are really manifesting this luck and this serendipity and these opportunities that will help you to build and grow and stabilize because you are in alignment. And so you are being merciful with yourself. And as a reflection of that, the universe is just going to give you exactly what you are embodying, because it's like an algorithm. Source is merciful, source is compassionate, source is loving, but the universe itself it's like a universal cosmic matrix or algorithm that kind of just mirrors back to us what we are or what we're embodying or what we're doing. And so it's not even necessarily what you are, it's more so the frequency that you're at, because you can be a good person resonating at a low frequency, or you can be a not good person resonating at a fairly high frequency for that disposition or that orientation, negative orientation versus positive orientation. So it's very much about your frequency, your intentions, what you are doing action wise or emotionally or mentally. And that's where I see you having distilled, I just heard the word distilled, this elixir down from something that was maybe too much or too hard, and it's like you've distilled it down into something very pure. You're an alchemist. All cosmic priestesses have the capacity to transmute, to tap into the unseen realms, to read energy, to work with energy, to manipulate energy. And manipulate is not a bad thing in this context. Manipulation is just to form or to exert force, which creates a result, is what they're saying. So you are able to distill elixirs of purity from impure input. Tough situations, challenging experiences, painful people in your life that have hurt you. Just obstacles, challenges, stress, worry. And I see you distilling that down into peace, prosperity, abundance, connection, trust, a deep, profound faith as well in your own abilities to transcend, in your own abilities to transmute and to overcome through your strength of grace, and also in the universe for providing you with the support and God, really, source, the creator, to hold space for you with that luck, compassion, and to give you all of the tools that you need to be able to do this job or to be this person or to create this elixir. So let's look at your tarot cards. So from the Cat Tarot, what does group number 3, sorry, there it is, this one here, this one as well. Okay. Group number 3, Cosmic Priestess number 3. I see these 3 right here as well. Okay, we're going to start with that. We may get more. Yeah, no. Okay. You have the 6 of Pentacles, and didn't you have something about giving is, giving is receiving? The 6 of Pentacles is all about giving and receiving. It's the balance between those two. If you have more than enough to give, then you give. If you don't have enough, then you receive. And it goes on and around in a circle like that, balancing itself out. So I see that you've been a giver. Group number 3, you've been giving a lot, and you've been receiving some maybe imbalanced things, and that's why the universe is coming in to balance that out, because it is just like an algorithm, and its job is to both reflect back to you the frequency that you're embodying or that's being held in your soul blueprint, and also to balance out any negative things that have gone too far in the other direction. So it's all about balance. You also have the Page of Swords. I see this as information. It's information that you're getting, especially in regard to this fear or this nervousness or this anxiety that you may have encountered, is what I wanted. I wanted to say experienced, and then they gave me the word encountered. So you may have actually encountered a lot of anxiety from other people. And this kind of like wore off on you because you are a sponge, you're an empath, you're very highly compassionate, sensitive soul, because you're a cosmic priestess. You are just like a much more highly charged or highly powerful conduit for energy. And so you're going to just naturally pick up on everything that's around you. So what they're saying is that this anxiety may not have even been yours to begin with. It may have become yours over time because you spent so much time with those people who were anxious or in fear. And that was the energy or the blueprint you were picking up on and then replicating. But it wasn't actually yours. Wow. Yeah, no, it wasn't yours. You were receiving it. You were receiving the anxiety and then misinterpreting it as your own. Wow. So getting out of the environment or ending the tough cycle or walking away from things that are giving to you in a negative way is what is bringing you back into alignment, and therefore luck and serendipity, because you're no longer operating within that frequency that's fundamentally misaligned with who you are and what you are at soul level, and the intention of what you're doing and why you're here. So like, for example, if you're a very loving, compassionate, empathetic soul who wants to do good and be good and love and care for others, and all you've experienced is pain and suffering and lack and loss and fear and doubt, that's fundamentally misaligned, isn't it? It's not balanced. And so the universe is trying to bring you the alignment with what you are, but it can't do that because, or it couldn't in the past, because you were stuck in these cycles of, or rather environments that perpetuated these cycles of fear, lack, loss, etc. So what I'm seeing here from Spirit is very, very clear. You are stepping out of that by gaining awareness of it and being able to release and let go of that which was never yours to begin with. It's like no longer internalizing it or personalizing it or taking it on as your own. You're able to let it go. You can receive it, but you can also transmute it. You don't have to own it, is what they're saying. So by releasing the ownership of that and depersonalizing it in a sense, you are, or rather detaching from it is a better phrase, because depersonalization can mean like you're disconnecting from yourself, which is not the case here. If anything, you're reconnecting more to your authentic self, but you're detaching from things that were not yours to begin with, and taking ownership back of your life. You have the Queen of Pentacles, so there's some serious major abundance that is coming here for you. Get ready to receive is what I just heard. Get ready to receive, group number 3. The serendipity, the circumstances are going to be so aligned and synchronized and special is what I just heard. They're going to be very special, and they're specialized to you, for you, because you have managed to transmute a very challenging situation into an elixir of hope and faith and love, which is very, very difficult to do. Taking pain and transmuting it and turning it into love and holding that, very difficult. Taking grief and turning it into gratitude, very, very challenging, but you've done it. And that's why they're saying, you know, you've done this very, look at this card. I mean, even here in the imagery, it's like this cat working through the maze to get the treat. And then he's got all of the treats there. Just basking in his glory of what he's been able to accomplish. That's what I'm seeing here for you, group number 3, is that the universe is basking in the glory of what you've been able to accomplish, and therefore your circumstances are going to reflect that very soon. The Lovers. Oh, this is so beautiful. Look how happy this card is. The sun and these two cuddly cats getting cozy together. I just feel like you are about to be very, very blessed in many different ways. Like it might be financially, it might be relationship wise. Like if you've had very negative relationships in the past, then the building blocks for a more loving, balanced, reciprocal foundation within your relationships and love is going to be the next phase. If you've suffered in lack and not had enough, and you've constantly been kind of with your hands out but not getting anything, or not even having your hands out, maybe because you feel like you didn't deserve anything, the universe is like, look, you've actually worked really hard and you do deserve this and you are valuable, and we want to nurture and give you these things, so allow yourself to open up and receive that. The Emperor. Wow. Power, power, power is what I'm seeing here. And you owning your power. Once again, that message of ownership coming up. So you're owning your power in a very profound way, group number 3. And this is you being ruler over your empire, which is your soul blueprint, your emotions, your thoughts, your actions. All of that is your empire, because what those create is your physical circumstances and reality. So as you gain mastery or control, ownership over everything that is within your responsibility, which is you and you only, then you can start to reflect back, or rather create something that is much more aligned and synchronized with you, or much more, I just heard the word profitable as well. So since we do have these Pentacles cards here with serendipity, I think that the luck is going to bring in profit for you financially, if that's something that you've been desiring. If it's not profit through financial, like money, I do see that if you've been desiring love, it's going to come that way. If you've been desiring a clear mind and less stress, it's going to come that way. So whatever it is that you've been desiring, whatever it is that you've been holding in the frequency of your heart as that core want, desire, or wish, that's what's going to be created, because you are working at it. You've been building this for a long time, and you've had a lot of very shoddy blocks. That's what they're showing me. It's like some of these blocks were very solid and some of them were not. And yet you still managed to turn a crappy block into a good block. You know, it's like with your secret potion and your elixir, your wisdom, knowledge, and connection, you were able to find a way to make this work for you and to persevere is what I'm hearing. Persevere and continue building. The sun's going to shine very brightly on you, group number 3, and it's meant to. So allow yourself to bask in it, because I'm seeing like the basking energy, just these cats enjoying themselves, right? They don't need to prove themselves. They don't need to seek validation for what they've been able to accomplish or how other people perceive them. They're just like, you know what? I really do deserve this because I'm enjoying it. That's testament to the fact that you deserve it. If you enjoy it and you feel grateful for it, yeah, you deserve it 100%. So enjoy it, let yourself relax and melt into that divine protection, support, and pleasure. It's like this comfort. I'm just getting a lot of comfort, satisfaction, peace, and a sense of accomplishment as well. Like that core of you is feeling very accomplished because it did take a lot to get here. It really did. I do want to pull a couple more cards. So for group number 3, what else are they needing to know right now? I feel these two, this one, and that's it. Okay. The 2 of Cups. Yeah, this could definitely be relationships. Soulmate, I just heard as well. Soulmate relationships, if that's something that you've been desiring. If you've had a hard time with people who were not very aligned with you, like who were giving you a lot of stress, anxiety, and they were embodying fear, and so they kind of sucked you into that world, and you started replicating or perpetuating that unconsciously. I'm seeing you having kind of conquered that or stepped out of that phase and moving into one where there's much more aligned. Again, serendipity here is what they're drawing my attention to. So much more aligned relationships that are built on a foundation of mutual reciprocal love where you're giving and receiving equally. Group number 3, because in the past I'm seeing that this tough cycle was because you were either giving too much and not receiving enough, or other people were giving to you but they were giving you crap. They were giving you crap and you were giving them gold, and that's not an equal exchange at all whatsoever. So serendipity is here to correct things. It's righting that. It's righting the wrong, essentially. It's just about fairness and balance. And so that energy was not equal, and therefore it needs to be balanced. You have the 5, 6, 7 of Wands, and for whatever reason, the cards in this spread, I've been turning them around, and so we're not reading them in reversal, whatever reason. Actually, let me ask why. Spirit, why are we not doing reversals right now? And they said, because it's not necessary. Anything that was reversed is being inverted. Anything that was upside down is being righted. Anything that was imbalanced is being brought back into balance. Yeah. All right. So anything that was upside down is going to be brought back right side up, so that it's harmonious. So the 7 of Wands here is about boundaries, and it's you getting rid of things that were given to you that really don't serve you or that are no longer aligned with you. Maybe they did resonate at some time or some point in the past, but they don't anymore. So you're able to get rid of that and move on, move forward, and build with better blocks, right? Like much better, stable, firmer blocks that are actually going to stand the test of time. And you also have the Page of Cups. I love this. The Page of Cups here, I want to put it with the Emperor for whatever reason, and I feel like it's because you're doing some serious healing with your masculine energy. The Emperor is the divine masculine, and it could be an actual person outside of you coming in, a father figure or a divine partner who's a masculine energy. But I also feel that this is to do with your own inner masculine, and we all have that, right? Female or male, we all have an inner masculine. So this is about you being able to protect yourself. With 7 of Wands can speak of protection as well, defense, boundaries. But I also see it as you kind of knowing that you deserve more than drinking out of the toilet, because the Emperor is kind of looking up at the Page of Cups like, what are you doing? And this toilet roll is almost empty. It feels like it needs to end. Even the lilies are speaking to me of death. So it does, I get the sense that your own inner masculine energy is really stepping up and taking charge here and saying, you know what, we deserve better. So I'm going to protect us, and I'm going to keep us safe, and I'm going to say no to these past experiences or to the stress and the worry, so that we can truly experience love and no longer have to drink out of toilets. Because Cosmic Priestess number 3, you are a queen, you are a king, you are an emperor, an empress. You are not meant to be drinking out of the toilet. And that's not like an egoic thing. It's seriously just that you were accepting less than you deserved. A lot here is what I'm picking up on. And you're meant for more. You're meant for more. You're meant to be building more. You're meant to be less stressed. You're meant to be more playful, more curious, more inspired. You're meant to be more loving and to experience that back as well. Like I get the sense you're very loving. It's just you haven't really experienced that coming back to you in the way that you truly needed or desired or deserved, right? Because again, you deserve the love that you're giving out. You deserve the support. You deserve mutual reciprocity. They keep bringing me back to that. Mutual reciprocity, balance, unity, the experience of the balance between the feminine and masculine as well within yourself, maybe even externally, if that's something you desire, or more balance within relationships in general. You've got all of the tools to do this, is what I'm seeing. And luck is on your side, because again, luck is just you being in alignment. So you getting into alignment is allowing you to receive more. It's allowing you to relax. It's allowing you to step into prosperity, and it's bringing in a lot of mutual support is what I'm seeing here. It's like people who want to help you, who want to better you and your life. It's like they want to see you thrive rather than imparting on you their own false wisdom, which is like fear, doubt, anxiety, stress, worry, pain, limitation, lack, loss. Like you're just no longer putting yourself in the field to accept that. It doesn't mean you won't encounter it. It doesn't mean you won't come across it, but you don't have to any longer live there. You don't have to continue to absorb that and then replicate it, because that's what they keep showing me, is you absorbing, and then it's like, what's the example they're trying to give me here? Yeah, it's like a machine that replicates is what they're showing me, the example, or it's like a metaphor for this. So it's like a machine that just whatever you put in, it spits out more of it. And so if you put in a pile of poop, it's going to spit out more poop. If you put in fear, it's going to spit out more fear. If you put in money, it's going to spit out more money. So like it just, you replicate and you expand everything that you touch and you come into contact with. That's why it's really important that you're discerning about what you are letting into your field. That's why these boundaries are so key here, and getting rid of things that are not aligned with your core self, because you may have identified with them at one point, but like they've said in the course of this reading, they're not your true self. That's not who you are at all. Like at all. So releasing, letting go, and excluding things that are not aligned, and then setting very firm boundaries about what you will and won't allow into your energy. And that means being discerning and discriminating about what you are interacting with every day. Like, where are you going? Who are you talking to? What experiences are you having? What are you watching on TV or on movies? What are you reading? What are you allowing within your relationships to exist? Who are you interacting with? Those kinds of things all need to be kind of up for review at this time, or maybe you've already done that, and that's why you have these building blocks going forward and you're aligning, is because you've already started to kind of do that review and understand that that's not aligned. It's not aligned. And so you're setting out on this new path. The 2 pages here, speaking of this new path, new opportunities, new wisdom, new knowledge, new skills that you're developing, or rather remembering, I should say, because as a cosmic priestess, you are a very evolved ancient soul. And so you have a ton of wisdom within your soul blueprint. And all you need to do is kind of get anything out of the way that was blocking that or disorganizing it, so that you can actually see it and work with it. It's like, I see even with building blocks, it's like you're finding a way to organize things better so that you can actually see what you have to work with. It's like, you might have all these skills buried in the back closet of the storage room, but they're buried in all of these, things and junk that other people have put in there. And they're showing me from Harry Potter, the Room of Requirement, and it can be anything. And I love that too. It's like you are anything, you are everything, because you're a cosmic priestess. You can tap into all energy and be all energy. And the Room of Requirement is kind of like, it will be whatever you need it to be. So I feel like you've mirrored other people's energy, and that's why you've replicated it. But I also see that the Room of Requirement, there's one specific room that everything is hidden in. People just go there to put stuff that they don't want to get found in. And I see like all of your skills are hidden in there from past lives and from your cosmic lineage and from all of your experiences as a soul. All of the wisdom and the knowledge you hold there is in that room, but it's buried underneath all the junk that other people threw on top of it. So that's why getting organized here and getting rid of these things and setting boundaries so that people can't just throw their junk in there anymore is going to help you to really be able to receive yourself, basically, like receiving from yourself, and then because the universe mirrors, that's what you're going to receive from outside of you as well. It's like more self-based relationships, where what I mean by that is like they are a reflection of you, a more authentic reflection of you, like the core of you, rather than what everybody else has stuffed into your field. Yeah, so maybe do a little bit of cleansing or purging. Even like the head in the toilet can speak of purging. Maybe you need to energetically release some of these things, take that out breath, release that tough cycle so that you can receive and you can truly feel honored by other people in the way that you deserve and have always deserved. It's just maybe you didn't realize that because people kept throwing junk into your field. And so you started to internalize that and believe that that's what you were worth. But that's not true. They gave me a phrase this morning, and it's also meant for you, group number 3. What was it, Spirit? Because you're priceless, you can't put a value on you. You know, and priceless doesn't mean worthless. But both of them have no price, right? Worthless has no price and priceless has no price. So you just misinterpreted that. You misinterpreted your pricelessness for worthlessness. But you're not worthless. You're priceless. You're like worth your weight in gold times infinity. And you can't quantify that, right? You just can't quantify that. That's why people, they maybe felt that or saw that and they went, oh, well, that makes me feel like crap. So I'm just going to dump my crap onto you so that we're more equal. But that's not fair, and that's not equal, and that's not balanced. So yeah, I just see you majorly releasing a lot of this stuff and stepping back into your power, group number 3. So let's take a look at your astro dice. So for group number 3, Sagittarius has been coming up in like every single reading. It's crazy. So Sagittarius is optimism, expansion, adventure, growth, higher learning, knowledge, experience, gregariousness. You have Pluto as well. So Pluto is the ruler of power. That's very emperor-like energy. Power struggles, control, transformation, death, rebirth. I was getting a little bit of death energy here from these lilies. So I get the sense that you're meant to be transforming, you're meant to be expanding, you're meant to be, the word transmutation is also coming, like transmute with the Pluto energy too. Transmuting old beliefs, transmuting old philosophies about yourself based on this internalized misperception. And then you have the 7th house, which is the house of relationships. It can be partnerships of all kinds. So partnerships in business, partnerships in love, especially romance is what I'm kind of picking up here, especially since you have these 2 cards, the 2 of Cups, the lovers, and I keep getting the word soulmates every time I look at them. So you are very much contracting new soulmates to come in a very, very aligned, synchronous, serendipitous way that are much more serving of you and your higher soul level expression. Like they are not going to dump junk into your field. They are going to see your worth and they're going to want to add to it. Yeah, if anything, they just want to add to it. And so it builds you up and it helps you to give more. So in you receiving, you're able to give more. You're able to be better in service to others by receiving that which you are truly needing. And again, deserving. Deserving is like the high key word of this reading. You are so deserving, group number 3. And it's really about just accepting and receiving what you deserve because you have worked hard and you are worthy. And again, you're priceless. You're priceless. You can't put a price on it, but the universe is going to try. It's going to try, and it's going to bring you people who see your pricelessness, who see your worth, especially as you do that for you as well, right? Because it's all mirror. It's all mirroring. All right, guys, that is what I see for you, group number 3. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was such a pleasure to connect with your divine cosmic priestess energy. I hope that this resonated and served you on your journey, and that you are blessed with what you deserve in this highest priceless energy of luck and abundance for the rest of your incarnation here and beyond. Many blessings, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye.